welcome everyone. I like it. There are a lot of people today on the pre-match show of IPL. Welcome Veda, Joyda, Abhijit, and we have Damini also with us. Hello.
Hi,
Good
hi Priya, what's
evening.
up?
Hello, everybody.
It's really nice to be doing the show today on the anniversary of IPL, on the 15th birthday of IPL, right? It started on this very day in 2008, and what a day that was. And we have some videos that we want to share with our viewers and with you all of some people on this panel itself about their experience of that day. And we'll start with one video that is the experience of Veda, who's here on the panel with us, about her talking about that first day of IPL and what she felt. So here goes the video.
15 years ago in 2008, when IPL was announced that something like this, like a franchisee cricket would be started, I was too young to understand what exactly it meant, because for me, everything looked similar. International cricket, state cricket, everything looked similar to me. I only knew for the fact that, if you play for India, that is where you're going to, make it big and things like that. But for a 15-year-old, I got the opportunity to watch the first game against KKR, when RCB took on KKR, and I was in the stands watching the game. The way Brandon McCullum played 150 odd runs, first game of the tournament, it kind of set the tone, and we knew what kind of quality was going to be there. And the competitiveness of IPL we've seen throughout in 15 years, and today Indian cricket stands as one of the most competitive teams, and we've literally won 50 over World Cups, Champions Trophy after that, and we've always been dominating in international circuit. IPL has given that stage for a lot of cricketers who can showcase their skill and make it to the Indian team, and we have quite a number of them. Because of IPL performance, they've made it to the Indian team. So it is a platform that everybody wants to play. All the youngsters want to play IPL because they know that is the stepping stone to play for India, which is the ultimate dream for all cricketers. So more likely like that, if BCCI comes up with women's cricket, and hopefully next year it will be the same thing for women cricketers, and the gap between domestic and international cricket can be snubbed, and we can be as dominating as men's in the cricket field. And I hope that something like this happens soon. Cheers.
That was a really nice one, and very well said, Veda, and very well finished as well by saying how women are becoming as good as men in cricket, and only getting better. And thank you for sharing that experience with us. Any more you want to add to that, Veda?
No, I mean, I just want everybody to know like how inspiring has it been, like not just for young boys, even for young girls when IPL started. Like I was amongst them, like playing under 19 cricket. Was in the stadium the entire day. Like I didn't know what the hype was around. Being a state player, I was allowed in the stadium earlier during the day, and I was there in the stadium the entire day until like the opening ceremony and all of that, and I didn't know what was happening. And today when I sit back and watch, I think I was really fortunate to be in the stadium to watch that knock of 150 odd by Baz. I think it just showed that you can't only score 100, you can probably score 150 also in T20 cricket, and that was something new. So it has been amazing journey for IPL as well. 15 years, it's grown so much. I just hope that it starts soon for us as well, so that when we talk about it 15 years later, and we've seen so many cricketers who've come through IPL ranks and played for India, I think that competitiveness will make it big. We've been runners up twice now in the last couple of years in the Cricket World Cup. Maybe this platform will help us to go on win the World Cups.
Absolutely. Well, we have Damini here with us as well, who's a huge KKR fan, Joyda.
Joyda is happy.
He's,
He's got
he's got
company.
support. He's got support in today's panel. So, Damini, why don't you share your thoughts with us right from the time IPL started on that knock Veda was just
For me, it's a very emotional. On a very emotional note, I would like to start because I remember that I was just 11 years old when the IPL had started. I was a school girl, and for me, cricket was only watching men's cricket in the World Cup, Team India, and all. Then suddenly, something like an IPL comes, and we just want to know what it is. We had no idea what it is, and then the IPL starts with a KKR and RCB, and for absolute entertainment, there is Brendan McCullum playing that brilliant knock of 158 not out. So for I just remember that as a child I was enjoying myself so much. Obviously, I didn't have any idea about the absolute details of cricket. All I could do was just enjoy the, oh my god, he's hitting so many sixes. That's so cool. There are so many of my favorite cricketers playing together from all over the world. And as over the years, all these 15 years, I have grown up. I have started to try and understand the details of cricket, and as I like go down the memory lane, I realize that so much Indian cricket and has not only evolved, it has also inspired world cricket to evolve. And IPL definitely, I would believe, has contributed in the growth of world cricket manifold, because multiple cricketers have claimed that it's because of the IPL that today they have achieved much success. So that's my
absolutely. I
view.
think when it started, nobody knew anything, and today the way it has grown over the years, leaps and bounds, and one of the biggest tournaments in the world, Joyda.
Yeah, absolutely. I happened to be there on that day when the IPL started. And just to, most of you were very young when the IPL started, but it was actually the ICL that started before that. And that was the one that instigated the IPL, because the ICL was more about retired players, was more about the rebel players, who had gone and gone against the left and had gone on to from there to go and play for ICL, because once you played ICL, you could not play for the state anymore. So that was a bit of a miss for the players. A lot of the states suffered from that because some main players went away all of a sudden. So I think it is because ICL happened that IPL happened, and then in between ICL and IPL happening, we won the World Cup, the T20 World Cup, the inaugural one. So that was the one that gave it the boost. So all the timing, the ICL, nobody knew about T20. Then the T20 team went to the World Cup. Nobody gave us a chance. None of the senior players went, and we won that. And then we come back, and the IPL happens. So everything just fell in place like a nice movie. The plots were one after another, and it panned out really good. And then that day came when it was KKR versus RCB, and I was fortunate
Yeah.
to be in the dugout that day. Yes, indeed special.
Abhijit, do you have any thoughts to share from the time IPL started and how it has grown over the years?
Yeah, I just like to tell one incident, which was like in 2011. I was in London, and I think India had won the ODI World Cup. And I was having conversation with some of the renowned sports people from there. So they were very curious and very appreciating the fact about the IPL. Like it was just started like 3 years back, and where it has gone now. Because I remember in second season or third season, Andrew Flintoff and Kevin Peterson was like got what 2 million US dollars, and IPL is just like for 2 months. So that value was more than what the NBA players, if you calculate the time they devote, and it gave one identity to our country. So like USA has the sports of NBA, the MLB, and other stuff. England, of course, has their Premier League. Spain has their football league. IPL gave that that identity to India for the sporting event. So now the world knows, okay, IPL. If cricket and T20, then it's IPL.
Absolutely. Well, so IPL is still going very strong. IPL fever has taken over, not over us only, over the world. And today we have a big match, which is KKR versus the Rajasthan Royals. So let's get talking about it. KKR has won the toss and chosen to bowl. Okay, we're back. All right. So, Veda, we'll start with you. What have you got to say about today's game? Rajasthan Royals is definitely looking good. Won 3 out of 5 matches, having 6 points on the table. But last loss, they conceded a lot of runs. A little bit about their decisions. They sent R. Ashwin number 3. What was going on there? Trent Bolt was not in the team. Your thoughts?
I mean, I was pretty surprised, to be honest. First thing when I saw Trent Bolt was not playing, I was like, "Oh my God, what are they even trying to do?" And then you send R Ashwin number 3, and I think it's you're making too many decisions around to make like give justice to what Sanju Samson is doing. Like Sanju Samson is batting at 4, so you're doing a lot of things to prove it that it's the right decision. And I think it's high time that he starts batting at number 3, because that is where he's been very successful in IPL and he scored a lot of runs. So I think they need to back him to do that, and he's done a great job. We always were worried about Sanju being not consistent, but he proved all of them wrong last season when he actually carried the innings through. He played longer innings and he was pretty consistent as well. So I don't really, it was pretty much like how Lucknow sent K. Gautam at number 3,
Yeah.
and that was surprising as well. And not having Trent Bolt, I think, was a big blow, because he's been so effective in the new ball. So I was pretty amazed and surprised that they actually didn't pick him. The last game was against RCB when they played. I'm happy that RCB won. They were in a situation that the RR had done really well. Half of the innings, it was DK who came in and changed
Yes.
the entire situation for them. So they were good, but it is just that the experience of Trent Bolt kind of matters, and they chose Mustafizur over him. So I don't know, with just one performance again, they'll be thinking about it. But for me, the first thing which they need to correct is if Sanju can bat at number 3.
Yeah, yeah. And Joyda, I think even you were mentioning the last time that if you're replacing a Trent Bolt, it has to be somebody like him who comes in his place, and you can't have someone else who's not doing the job right, and then of course you are going to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they said they had a niggle, but that's what they say when they, make way for a senior player. And I am to go completely with Veda on this. You can't replace Trent Bolt with Jimmy Neesham.
Yeah.
And if you want to act, and if for some reason, he is injured, then it's got to be an out and out fast bowler who replaces you. Whether he's a foreigner, whether he's an Indian, doesn't matter. It's the skill set we're talking about. So
Yeah.
just because you can play with 3 foreigners, but you need a fast bowler to be able to come and do the same things, or at least try and do the same things that a Trent
Absolutely.
Bolt does. So
Yeah.
you start with Jimmy Neesham, he gives 15 in the first over, you've opened up the game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which Trent Bolt doesn't. So I think that's the
True.
point that Veda is trying to make, that you cannot drop, even if he's got a niggle, you have to get a player with the same skill set. They will be injured.
Exactly.
Sometimes these big guys will be injured. But you have to get a guy with this same skill set. And all the successful teams, if you see in the IPL, the Chennais, the Mumbais, they've always done that. If a Josh Hazelwood is injured, they'll get an Indian fast bowler to do it. They won't get a all-rounder from New Zealand to come and do the job, because the skill set, the job profile is different.
True, true, true. And they have the team. Rajasthan has the team and good batsmen and a good bowling attack as well. But this shuffling and the trials they've been doing is kind of just messing it all up. Maybe Abhijit.
Yeah, I think that they're trying too much. Obviously, I was surprised when I saw Ashwin coming at number 3, and in the other match he was, retired out. So, what's the point they're trying to make?
Yeah.
Today again, they're making 3 changes. Yes, great to have Trent Bolt back. Obed McCoy is making his RR debut today, and Karun Nair is also in the playing 11. But to be
That
honest,
should bring a
I
smile to
feel
Veda's face. That should bring a smile
My
to Veda's
buddy,
face.
my friend is playing. Yes.
Yes,
All
and
the
three
more reason to
Bangalore boys.
support. All
And
the
three
more reason to
Bangalore
support
boys,
RR.
in the Rajasthan Royals team. Devdutt Padikkal, Prasidh Krishna, and your bud.
All the more reason to support RR now. I was anyways
You,
against
you,
KKR
you
because
can
you're
also say
for
from
KKR.
Kerala as well. Don't forget the roots of Kerala.
No, because you're with KKR, so I am against you. So it gives me an added addition to support RR now.
How
It's
nice she
actually
is today. It's
wrong.
amazing. It is amazing.
It's war.
Damini, you tell
It's
me
war.
the game is happening at Brabant. A high scoring game is expected. This could favor Butler, Hetmyer. What do you think?
Ah, yes, Rajasthan is, I suppose, spoiled for choices because they have the orange cap holder Jaws Butler opening for them, and he's in red hot form right now. Then they have the big hitters like Shimron Hitmeyer or Sanju Samson. They have really stood up to always score big for Rajasthan even in very crunch situations. And I would say that at this point of time, Rajasthan has the orange cap and the purple cap holder both with them. So yes, they look the stronger team, though I'm supporting KKR. KKR, unfortunately, those two back-to-back matches, I don't think they
Yes.
should have lost them. They just lost them to because of those very technical mistakes that they did, be it their bowling. Batting, they have to improve. The opening pair has to contribute. Aaron Finch and Venkatesh Iyer has looked not his bit. The previous edition, the second half, the kind of form he was in, he's not looking that he's supposed, perhaps has just lost his touch. I don't know what the reason is, but it's about time he got back his form. Aaron Finch needs to contribute, because in the power play, if KKR managed to take off, then I presume it can be a very high scoring bird. Of course, KKR is bowling first, so KKR at any cost has to get rid of Jaws Butler as soon as possible. Because if Jaws
And
Butler gets going, then really he can really be a literal pain in the neck for the bowlers.
true. And in the game before last, we've seen that against Delhi, KKR had leaked a lot of runs. They ended up making 215. So they
That
really
was a very rare situation where where the teams winning the toss and choosing to bowl first ended up on the losing side. That was, I think, one of the very rare situations which KKR literally portrayed, that it's not necessary for you to win the toss, choose bowling and ensure that you are winning. And that match, KKR, definitely the bowling was very very bad, because unnecessarily they just conceded so many runs. The same thing happened in the next match as well. And let's
yes, they
just
could not
hope
defend.
that because Varun Chakravarti, he needs to, the tag that he carries with him of being a mystery spinner, he needs to make sure that he is living up to the expectations of that tag being given to him. Because I feel that opposition batters are easily reading him up, the way he bowls or the kind of delivery that he very often gives. So he needs to somehow you know correct himself.
So that's what it is. And KKR also seem to be in a panic situation after having lost the last two games. Joyda, do you agree with Damini? And what different should KKR do this time?
Yeah, I think the bowling has always bailed them out, and this time the batting has been a question for a while. It's
Yeah.
always the KKR bowling that bails them out, but there was one instance when Umesh's ball didn't swing, Varun's ball didn't come out of the hand properly, and anybody who's played the game knows that you have no control, even as a bowler, how you would be. We just expect that the batters can have an off day and they get out, but the bowlers will sooner or later get it right. But that doesn't happen. If you're not in rhythm, if you're not bowling well, if it's not coming out of your hand the right way, he bowls some half volleys, he bowls some half trackers, which is very much unlike Varun. And a mystery is only a mystery when the ball falls in the right place. If it's a half volley or a short ball, then the mystery doesn't matter. So it was a one-off day. Varun has been
Hmm.
phenomenal for KKR.
Hmm.
One-off day. If the batters can have off day and off days, then the bowlers can also have. But I think they are dependent on their bowling. It's their bowling with the two mystery spinners, Umesh in good form, Pat Cummins, one of the best in the world. So that's
Correct.
16 overs taken care of. And Shivam Mavi is back in the squad today, in the 11 today. So that should be a decent attack. But the worry for me is KKR batting. They batted well in patches. Pat Cummins has played a blinder. Russell has played a blinder. Nitish Rana has came and played a blinder. But blinders from one or two people don't win you a tournament, doesn't get you in a strong position. As a unit, you got to bat well, and that hasn't happened for KKR.
Absolutely, absolutely. In one or two matches, we've seen those special innings, but that's not going to help you all the time. So, Abhijit, what is going to be your pick? We know Joyda and Veda are on opposite sides always. Joyda is with KKR, Veda has chosen Rajasthan. What are you
Look
choosing
at the
today?
smile. Look at the
No,
smile.
no, okay.
I
No, today,
automatically get smile looking at you, Joy. It's
We'll
you.
see whose smile stays on after the night, after the game.
no, I think today, since KKR has won the toss, and both the teams are wonderful. I mean, if you look today's squad, I think out of 22 players, 20 players have represented their country. What else you could ask? And I think both teams are capable of going to the playoff. Both team are solid with the bowling attack. But just because I think as Joyda has mentioned, one player from KKR has played their role, but I think they need to start up now to play together. So like in one of the match, Pat Cummins played the blinder, so that's what needed. And I think if you see the depth of KKR, I think it's quite more than Rajasthan Royals. And again, since they've won the toss, I think they're playing at the Bradman Stadium next to the CH. So I think the due factor will come in. And I think KKR has a good chance to win this match. So my bet is on KKR today. I'm with you, Jordan.
Yeah, I need all the support I can. I've got these people who are ganging up against me. Veda has got a huge fan
Sir,
following in
I'm
the
with
group.
you. I'm with you, sir, because
Yes,
today marks a very
I can.
special day for KKR. And
See, the
KKR,
entire panel is
I
against me today. We've lost today.
can't
I
help
don't
it.
know who she's
It's
supporting,
KKR
but
who's winning. Even I
it's
agree.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
We'll see.
but
We'll see later in the night.
we'll see. But the good thing is that I think that's the best part about the IPL. We all pick our favorites, whatever, but we really don't know because it's such a close game. It's who plays well on a given day. We will have our favorites, and Veda's of course got three Bangalore boys playing in Rajasthan Royals, so that's a given. Even I would have taken it. Even no matter who they were playing, she would have supported, except RCB. She would have supported this team because I know she and
Yes.
Karun are good buddies, and when your friends play, you feel extra special for them. You feel the pulse of them playing because these are people you've practiced, you've grown up with. So when you see these people playing, it's only normal that she's supporting them, and how well the Rajasthan Royals have looked as a unit. They've lost a couple of games. That will always happen in the IPL. You lose a couple of games here and there, but they've looked really good. So Veda, what has impressed you the most about the Rajasthan Royals? Them playing as a unit, or what was it?
Well, what I'm really impressed is the way they've gone about with their business especially when it comes to bowling. I think that they've been the most effective bowling attack. It's something like DK Special,
Yeah.
which took them apart last game. But if you
Mm.
look at it, they had put RCB in on, like, they had pushed them against the wall, and it needed someone who could bring in a special innings and bail them out. So I think the bowling unit has been impressive, and I think one of the best bowling unit right now. They've been amazing. They've been on spot, and everybody has contributed. They're not dependent on one person. All five, six, whoever is bowling is doing tremendous job. And Chahel, the Indian bowlers especially Chahel, Prasidh Krishna, they've been amazing. And having Ashwin again is like an advantage because he's so smart.
Yeah, that's
So
a
I
great
think
point.
that is, yeah, I think that is where RR has got the edge. If their batting fires, Sanju Samson fires, there'll be a different squad altogether.
Yeah, Veda, you make a great point because what happens here is that because the bowling is strong, the batter's not feeling that we have to get the extra 20 runs.
Exactly.
When the
Yeah.
bowling is weak, like Mumbai, the bowling is weak, so the batters are feeling, yeah, 170 वाला विकेट है, पर अपना जो bowling है 190 तो करना पड़ेगा. But
Yeah.
here
True.
170 वाला विकेट, पर हमारा जो bowling है 160 पे भी जीत जाएंगे. So
Correct.
that way you end up getting 180 because you're actually playing 10 runs less than what is par. That's a very, very
Correct.
good point. And the opposite happens. When the batting is weak, then the bowlers feel, yeah, ये तो 140 पे out करना पड़ेगा. But 160 का wicket है. So they end up getting 170 because he attacked too much or whatever. You're trying to
Yeah.
get that guy out, whatever. So this balance of batting and bowling is what makes one unit have confidence in the other. So it's
True.
very important for both of them to be kind of evenly balanced so that one doesn't feel the weight of the other or the lack of weight of the other.
Sure.
Absolutely. And I completely agree with Veda on this. And I think RR has that slight edge over KKR today, and that's why I'm going with RR. Not because I
Yes.
want to go against Joyda, but because that's what I feel, and I have my roots from that.
Damini, keep
So
that.
my heart.
Damini, keep that smile. We'll need it at 11:30 in the night. Keep that smile.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time to close this discussion. The match is going to start in another 5 minutes, but I'm just going to leave you all with a video that I mentioned in the start as well. And this is Joyda taking us down the memory lane of when IPL first started, and that brilliant knock by Brendan McCullum, and how people got to know him and how that made history. So take it away, and I'll see you all in the night after the match. Enjoy the game.
So,
Veda,
bye
good luck.
bye. Good luck,
Take care.
Joyda.
Good luck, everyone. Bye bye.
The Indian Premier League started, nobody was sure what this was going to be all about. What is it going to pan out? Nobody ever thought it's going to be as big as what it is today. But back in the day, part of the planning, the auction, the players you bought, everything was very unknown. And I can only speak for Kolkata because I've been with them from inception. And I still remember so excited that Chris Gale coming to play for KKR, and that he gets injured, doesn't play the first year. Shoaib Akhtar, one of our top picks again, has an issue with the board. He doesn't come. Ricky Ponting comes, then he goes away to West Indies. Brad Hodge comes in his place, then he goes away because something happens in West Indies with the Australian team he's called for. So the teams struggled with its main players. But just talking about the tournament, Devashish was outstanding. Nothing like this had ever happened in Indian cricket. The glitz, the glamour, obviously Kolkata Knight Riders with the owners, Shah Rukh Khan, Juhi Chawla, Jay Mehta, outstanding people as owners. It's been a privilege working with them, for them at the time. And everybody was very new to it. Nobody knew the Pakistani players, Salman Butt, Umar Gul coming over, Tatendra Taibu coming over from Zimbabwe, the Australians, David Hussey, and everybody here. So it was, first the bonding. Nowhere in Indian cricket had so many different nationalities bonded over 2 months. John Buchanan, the coach, he had a huge coaching staff of his. Saurav Ganguly, the captain. And the nets over here, there were 30,000 people at the KKR nets the first day at the Eden Gardens. And then ultimately the match came in Bangalore. We all know what happened there with Brendan McCullum. A tournament like this, the way it's panned out now, and God had a plan. So obviously it started with that 158 because he knew this was going to be a blast, and he started it with a blast. Now he's of course the coach of the Kolkata Knight Riders. But just the glamour, the buzz for tickets before the game, after the game, the people thronging the team hotel. Then those were the days of the after party. So that went on for a long time. Of course, all that is a thing of the past. But there was so much of glitz and glamour. It was an outstanding period of Indian cricket to be involved with, and I consider myself very, very lucky.